Hey guys, I'm Daisho and I am here bringing you some magic, and today I am playing TTTT, Top Tier Tactics Tournament, and yeah, this is a game against Night Ninja, and it's as you're about to see, an Obedient Dead mirror matchup. So going into it, I saw his deck lists, and he had Celestial Light, Goblin Gangland, and Obedient Dead, and I don't know how familiar he is with me, so I assumed that he might know my preference towards Born of Flame. I don't know if that was wrong in saying maybe he never even heard of me before, but anyway, I just figured that it was a little bit too obvious, especially since he had Celestial Light under his playable decks. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, you had to select 3 decks that you had the chance of playing with throughout the tournament. So I figured he would probably counterpick me to Celestial Light, therefore I decided to go with Obedient Dead. Obedient Dead also pretty much covers all my bases since he could play Goblins or Born of Flame, and I'm pretty not extremely confident in those. Oh wait, no, he didn't have Born of Flame. He had Goblins, Obedient Dead, and Celestial Light. So I'm pretty confident that my Obedient Dead can beat any of those. I'm pretty good in the mirrors generally, so that's what I did. And here is the games. The first game, as you guys can see, this match is only one game. It does take quite some time, and Obedient Dead mirrors tend to do so because you can basically just kill all their creatures, and they don't have that many threats. But anyway, here's a really important turn. So he decides to block the Fume Spitter, which was good on his part. Very nice play. And now I need to decide whether or not I want to play Phyrexian Obliterator or Necrotal. So you guys are like, obviously you want to play Obliterator, or some people are probably thinking that. And I end up not choosing to play him, and the reason is because he hasn't played any of his removal yet, and I know that he's playing a deck that has a ton of removal. So if I play a weaker threat first, then maybe he'll use a murder on that, and then he won't have one for my Obliterator. So that was basically my justification for doing so. He misses a land drop here, so this is really good. For some reason at his end step he decides to do it, but there you go. Right away he just murders my Necrotal. So it turned out to be the right play, because now he might not have any removal for my Phyrexian Obliterator. So unfortunately, I've been drawing. I mean, I've actually been drawing pretty well so far. I started with 5 lands and Fume Spitter and an Obliterator, and since then I've only drawn spells, including Corrupt, which is talk about a card that just completely changes the matchup. The name of that card would be Corrupt. Anyway, he does hit his 4th land drop here, so that's pretty good for him. You can tell he was thinking maybe he wants to cast a Liliana Shade, but then he realizes that no, that's not something that he can really afford to do at this point, considering that I have an Obliterator out, and he does have the 2nd murder. So it turned out that my little ambivalence at the beginning didn't really matter, because he had 2 murders anyway. Maybe he drew the 2nd one. Probably not. He probably had 2 the whole time. I'd imagine that's why he wanted to kill the Necrotal, especially if he didn't have much action on 3 lands. Then there you go, he plays his Liliana Shade. If he didn't have much action on 3 lands, then there's a good chance that he wouldn't have any on until he drew the next one. So then killing a Necrotal makes sense, because it probably would deal 6 damage to him, or as much as 6. So anyway, I decided to cast Innocent Blood here. I could have used Corrupt, but I figured that Corrupt can be more useful later. Maybe I can do it to his face, and then he just like punches me in the nose and plays Phyrexian Obliterator. So if I had used Corrupt the other turn, then I would be at 29, and I'd be able to kill his Obliterator. So that's just one play where I don't even think it was really a misplay. I guess I could have thought about the fact that he might play Obliterator, but I don't know. I don't think that was really the wrong play even. And now he just punches me in the face and plays his Liliana Spectre, and I'm just like, oh no, what do I do? I know I can't kill the Obliterator, obviously, and I'm just gonna have to ditch the tendrils. I could have just ditched the Corrupt, because at this point it does not look like I'm gonna be able to corrupt his face. But I decided to throw away tendrils just in case, like, I draw, because right here if I draw Mutilate, then I'm just completely set. But then of course he befouls one of my lands, and in just a second you'll see why that was just an absolutely, like, there's so like some random intuition that's in his head that's like, I should befoul a land right now. I'm just joking. I mean, I drew a Rune Scar Demon, which I now cannot cast because of the freaking befoul. But anyway, here I decide that I can't really take 7, even if I draw the land next turn. or I draw a murder next turn, then I'm still going down to a really low life total, but my plan was basically get murder with Runescarred Demon, take one more damage, one more hit from the Obliterator, and then murder it. But then I would be at like 5 life or something absurd like that. So instead, I just chose to corrupt the Shade to gain some life, and then hopefully I'll draw the land here. In my defense, there's really no bad draw here, even though I pretty much get the nut draw, in that I actually do draw a murder. Which was ideal. But I mean, if I had drawn a land, I would just have taken another 5 from the Obliterator, which wouldn't have been ideal. I know I was just building up to something a second ago, but I can't exactly remember what I was talking about, which is a little bit unfortunate. But that happens to me all the time, so you guys are probably used to it by now, I'm sure. Anyway, get rid of that Obliterator, and I think I'm looking pretty good for this game. I have plenty of lands left in the deck, so there's a pretty good chance that I draw one. And I have Runescarred Demon, and then he's like, no, Daisho, I'm going to punch you in the nose yet again, and play another perfectly timed Liliana's Shades. So his Liliana's Shade, well, the first one, let's see what it did. It made me discard a Tendrils and absorbed a Corrupt, and then the second one made me discard a Runescarred Demon, and then obviously my deck just completely starts laughing at me, like that really crazy maniacal one, like, ha 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 ha, I'm going to just punch you in the nose. I don't know why I keep saying that, but anyway, it's just so well timed, everything that he's done so far, and it's not even like I just don't think it was. I mean, he's playing everything perfectly, and I really got to congratulate Night Ninja there. But it just did not seem like it was really there was really anything that I could do about it. So it was just. Maybe I didn't make perfect decisions, but my decisions were pretty good anyway. It just turned out that they were, like, all wrong. Anyway, I do draw this Liliana Shade here, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty awesome. But I also know that he has 8 lands and 3 cards in hand, so it's just unlikely that he does not have an answer to this Liliana Shade. It does mean that the Spectre isn't gonna, like, he's not gonna be able to ride the Spectre home and just not have to play another spell. He is gonna have to deal with my Shade, so. Shade was a pretty good top deck there, especially since it thinned my deck out a little bit. Let me play the land and still keep one in hand. And then he has to play the Innocent Blood to get rid of it. So that was really good, because I did end up getting rid of the Liliana Spectre. But still, the Spectre did, what, 4 damage to me? Or 4 or 6, I can't remember. 6 damage to me and made me discard a Runescarred Demon. So that was actually pretty sweet for him. I draw land, but it looks like he's drawing land as well. So it's not the end of the world. I missed some land drops early, which, like, sometimes not hitting your land drops is awesome. Sometimes it's terrible. And now, obviously, I have to justify my choice to play Bloodhunter Bat to everyone in the room. So if in the mirror matchup, Bloodhunter Bat's pretty good. Just gaining 2 life whenever you want is good, and dealing 2 damage is pretty good. 2/2 flyer just means that they have to answer it eventually. It's like annoying, and they have to do it. So that makes it pretty good for me. And then also it's really good against Goblins because it trades with something, gains you some life. And Celestial Light, it's fine against, not really great. And then here I make a ridiculous top deck and get a murder. So other than this, I would probably have to just like stay back and chump block and then just lose so much value. But instead, I'm able to just swing in for 2, take him down to 14, 14, 14. And now he's going to swing in with his Shade. And I think the trick really here is dumb, because just because of the way that the game is ordered, you have to like play the it's like the chicken game, like, are you gonna kill my guy or am I gonna pump him or whatever. But in real Magic, what would happen is the turn player, in this case Night Ninja, would have priority. He would say, I want to pump, or I don't want to pump, and then afterwards he would pass priority over to me, and then I would say, okay, I want to pump, or I want to kill it, okay, or I don't want to kill it. So unfortunately that's not the case here. Now I draw Grizzlebrand, and Grizzlebrand is just an awesome draw here. I'm still at 14 life, so I can definitely afford to pay 7 life and draw 7 cards. But I would rather just gain the 7 life first. That way I'm not in corrupt range, which is definitely was a thought to me the whole time. But unfortunately here, he does have a Mutilate, I believe. Unless I am just, yep, Mutilate. So he has a Mutilate, and he has 1 card in hand, so I'm thinking, alright, I'm pretty safe. He probably doesn't have a Corrupt. I'm just going to draw 7 cards, and I'll probably be able to win the game in a couple of turns. I know that I don't have any more Corrupts in my deck, or Tendrils, but I'm pretty sure I did put in the Exsanguinates. So that would have been a really good draw there. But first things first, I'm just going to make him discard his card, and it is a swamp. So that was kind of irrelevant, but it's good to know that he doesn't have anything. And my mana just worked out such that I can play all these spells and just be an extremely happy panda. Threatening lethal next turn pretty easily. Lethal plus still being able to cast a murder or whatever. And he passes right away, so I assume it's just game over. And I'm still very careful to make sure that I can cast my Liliana Shade. Even if he did draw that like murder or whatever, could actually save him here. And then I'm going to pump, just calculating in my head how much I need to pump for, since I didn't really think about it before I attacked, which is probably dumb. But anyway, I decide that it's 7. That way I can do 7 plus 2 from the Nighthawk plus 2 from the Liliana Shade, and then he has the murder. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Just gotta wait one more turn, and I'm pretty nervous at this point, since he still could just top deck Corrupt. And then that would just absolutely destroy my hopes and dreams. Pretty much my admiration for everything that I have ever stood for. And then he's like, Sign in Blood, and I'm like, all right, whatever, Sign in Blood. What are you gonna do? Draw another murder or something like that? And then he thinks about it for a while, and the card that he drew is I'm like, all right, if he draws Corrupt, then I'm just dead. That's what I was just motioning to you guys prior. Daisho was smart enough to actually think of that and to think of doing that. But I'm like just nervous. I'm like, just kill me already if you can. Just pass the turn if you can. Blah 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 blah. And anyway, he has Rise from the Grave. So quick quiz: what is he going to get, and how is he going to win? Pause the video right here. Did you pause it? I don't think you paused it. Anyway, I took a look at my graveyard and I'm like, I'm dead. Because he can just go grab my Runescar Demon and then use my Runescar Demon to go fetch up a Corrupt, and he has exactly 6 mana to play his Corrupt. So that was a really, really nice game, Night Ninja 21. That's going to be game 1. I mean, it was very smart of him to figure that out. Just drawing a Rise from the Grave, you like look at your options, and sometimes it's hard to figure those things out, especially in the heat of the moment. And I really have to congratulate him on a well-played game 1. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1, and stay tuned for game 2. Have a nice day. Bye.